Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And of course, if you guys want to support me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon site. The link is in the description below, and you can give me $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you prefer. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about empathy and how empathy is filled with good stuff. Like, I love being an empath. I love knowing how people are around me, how they feel or what they are feeling, or if they're not feeling well or are they feeling good. I like being in touch or in tune with the feelings and emotions of the people around me. I feel like it gives me another dimension to living, right? I feel like if I was not in touch with all of that, I feel like my life would be very much limited in its perceiving or in its living. Basically, I like being in control of it and in touch with it, and it just makes me feel like I see people in a different format. I'm not just seeing them as physical bodies that are coming at me and being rude to me or doing things. I see the hurt underneath, I see the pain underneath, I see or empathize with all of that underneath stuff as well. I realize perhaps that they were treated poorly when they were a child, or they were abused as a child, or they had an alcoholic father, or things like that. All of this stuff comes up for me, and I'm able to empathize and look at people in a different dimension rather than just seeing them as physical bodies who are trying to hurt me by being rude to me or whatever it might be, right? And so I do love and appreciate empathy in all of its different forms, and there's so many different kinds of empathy, of course. And so there's all of these different things that we can relate to as an empath and as a highly sensitive person. I kind of interchangeably look at those two terms. They are, I think, different, but a lot of times I use them interchangeably. But I do realize that empathy has a downside to it. Like everything, everything has its positive and a negative. Everything has a light and a dark side to it. And the empathy's dark side is that if someone is hurting us or if someone is, doing cruel things to us, of course we can walk away. And if you're an INFJ watching this, you're probably going to door slam the person and that's it. That's the end of that, right? But not everyone is as strong as an INFJ in that regard. Most people have a really hard time with it. And this is one of the main conversations I have with people who are not INFJs, but who are dealing with a difficult person. They're like, what should I do? And I'm like, well, get rid of them. You don't talk to them anymore. They're obviously hurting you. And for them, they're like, no, but I can't do that. They obviously need me. They have all these, they need me around, right? For example, I have this one friend who has these brothers, has a family in general who treats her poorly, takes advantage of her, and is just cruel to her in general, right? And so if I had a family like that, I don't. I'm very lucky. I have a very good family. But if I had a family like that, I would never speak to them ever again. If they were going to treat me like that over and over again. Now, of course, I'll give them a few chances, even 10, 15, 20 chances. But she has done that, and they still treat her very poorly. And so for obviously my advice, cut them off. Cut them off before they really completely ruin you and make you doubt yourself and make you hate yourself. And just cruelty in general should be cut off right away, right? Especially because she's not doing anything to warrant it. She's trying to be nice to them and they're being mean to her. And I see a lot of relationships like this. I don't know why people do this. Human beings have this tendency just to be cruel in some ways. And I don't understand that tendency unless I'm in a relationship. And sometimes I do these things as well. And I'm like, why am I doing this? So I don't know what it is about being a human. But we end up hurting the people that we love in weird ways, right? And so, of course, when I tell her to cut that person off, cut those people off, she's like, no, I can't do that. They need me around. Otherwise, without me, they wouldn't be happy. Or I have this role, I think, in my life to make them happy because they're unhappy people. And it's my responsibility to make them happy, to take care of them, to do all those things for them, right? And it's so funny to me because, of course, she's an empath. She's highly sensitive, much more so than me, much more of an empath than me. And she sees the needs and desires, of course, because she's family as well. So you see it even more so. And she sees that they're hurting inside and they're lashing out because of that. And so even though they're being cruel to her and they're lashing out at her, she just cannot give up on them, right? She has to take care of them because she sees it as an empath. She sees the hurt inside. And again, I think, obviously you can look at it as a positive or a negative, but of course, if someone's hurting you and you're like, no, I can't give up on this person, they're hurting me because they're hurting inside and I need to take care of them, I'm the only person who sees that, I feel like that actually becomes a little bit of a downside at some point in time, because you just become this human boxing bag, or a human, like, just like, everyone's just pummeling you and punching you and just grounding you up, and you just still take it because you're like, well, I get it, they had a really terrible childhood, or their father's an alcoholic, or their mother abused them, or things like that, and I see it, and I can't run away from this person. And I myself have been in this situation many times before, where I've been in a relationship with a person, or I've been around these friends of mine, friends I say in a quote manner, because they really truly didn't behave like friends, right? I can think of this one example where this person, this friend of mine, this girlfriend would always be so cruel to me. She'd always be putting me down, or she'd be making fun of me, or she'd be like saying that, oh, you're so lucky, you get everything so easily in your life, etc., etc., not seeing the hard work that I put into things. Also, there is luck involved, but I do work very hard for all the things that I do. And so she'd always say all these things, and I was like, well, she's hurting inside. She lost her father very early on, and she has a really difficult life, and she can't find a person who can love her, and she works a job that she doesn't like. So I had all these lists of things that I put myself into, and like saying, okay, this is all the reasons why she's hurting me. She is lashing out because she has a tough life. So you have to take it because you have a better life. You're luckier than her. So it's your responsibility to take it, right? Eventually, though, I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, why do I have to be that human punching bag? Why do I have to take on that role? Why is it my responsibility to take care of this person who is an adult and who should be taking care of themselves? And it's not like I've had a completely perfect life either. I've been pummeled by life as well. But if I'm not lashing out at other people because of it, then why are they allowed to do that to me, right? And so the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated, and treat yourself as you are going to treat other people. And that's a big one for me specifically, because I'm good with treating other people as I want to be treated. Like, I treat other people perfectly and kindly and gently as much as possible. But when it comes to treating myself as that, I'm like, well, I'm not worthy of it, or I don't need it. I'm strong enough. I can deal with all this stuff. Right? And I don't like that. I really don't like that, because as an empath, we do this a lot. We do this a lot where we're like, well, yeah, I can deal with it because I'm an empath. So I see more than other people, so I have this responsibility to take it, to take the pummeling, to take the punching bags, to take the punches, and to take all of the negativity and all the hate and all that stuff, and then transform it into something good. It's my responsibility. But when does it get to be too much? When do we say enough is enough, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do this anymore, right? When do we draw the line? And that's really important for me as a question for you, as well for you guys to ask yourself this, especially if you're an empath and HSP. If you're listening, you probably are, because my channel is filled with them. But if you are one of those, you really have to ask yourself this question and really draw the line at a certain point. A line has to be drawn. You cannot take it for the rest of your life. It just is not good for your psyche. It's not good for them either. You're basically allowing them or enabling them to just become this person who does cruel things to other people and never grows up and never learns. So how are you helping them, right? How are they going to learn? How are they going to grow up? How are they going to become an adult? How are they going to mature? How's that going to happen if you let them punch you every single time they are upset, or say cruel things to you, or things like that? How are they going to grow up? So you need to stop enabling these people as well. So as an empath, of course, as I said, the line has to be drawn, and each person is going to have their own line, right? For me, the line is very quick. Like, I go into it right away. If someone's being cruel to me or mean to me, I don't allow it for too long, right? I just don't like it. It's not acceptable, like, anymore. It's just not, especially if they're an adult. If they're a child or in their teens, yeah, it makes sense. They're still learning and growing. Even early 20s, okay, fine, that's fine. But once you're beyond 25 and over, I just feel like it is unacceptable, and you cannot treat people like that. You have to learn and grow up and stop enabling each other. And so for me, I draw the line very quickly. Other people have to take a little bit more time because they're perhaps more empathic than me, or perhaps they have more of a tolerance for it, right? And so it's okay. But eventually, at a certain point, you have to decide, you have to draw a line and say, no, enough is enough. I have taken enough. Even if I'm an empath or an HSP and I see you and I see your pain, it is not my responsibility to save everyone on this planet. And this is one of the things that empaths have to learn, is that it's not our responsibility to save everyone around us. In fact, you're probably not going to be able to do it, because It's their own responsibility. Everyone has their own responsibility to fix themselves. You cannot fix someone else. I know we have this thing in our head. No, I can fix them if I'm nice to them, and if I take care of them, and if I can just spend more time with them, I'll be able to fix them. I've tried this many times in my life, and I can tell you that probably not. It's not going to happen unless the person wants it, and unless the person is trying on their own. You're not going to be able to fix them, right? So it's not your responsibility to take care of them. So draw the freaking line and get over it, and door slam them or tell them this is unacceptable, and just get on with it. Stop doing this to yourself. You are not a human punching bag. Even though you're an empath and you see their pain, it is not acceptable, guys. It's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. Okay? I hope this makes sense to you guys. I really, really, really wanted to share this because I feel like I'm getting a lot of messages from empaths saying, when should I draw the line? Draw the line when it feels like it's too much for you to handle. It is your body, it is your energy, and it is your responsibility to take care of yourself. No one else is going to do that for you. Okay? Again, if you like this video or if you like any of my other videos, please do support me on Patreon. The link is in the description below. And I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.